What is the bigger, better life? It's the ultimate life. It's living life at its full potential. It's living fully human, fully alive. It's living life on purpose. Instead of life happening to you, you make life happen. There are principles. There are pillars. There are the fundaments and foundations of building a life worth living. Health. I mean, you could have all the houses, the vacations, the money in the bank, the friends around the world, but if you're in a hospital bed with tubes up your nose, how would you ever be able to enjoy that? That's not the bigger, better life. Wealth. Creating real freedom and margin in your life so that you can experience new places, new cultures, new relationships, to be, to do, to have whatever you want, to live life on your terms. I mean, wealth just gives you options. Wealth, it gives you the ultimate choice. Let me ask you a question. How would your life be if you could wake up every morning and you could choose, you could decide how you want to feel? I'm telling you, that's an awesome feeling. I love it. Personal growth. If you are not personally growing every day, I'm telling you, you're dying inside. You see, your life in general, it's never standing still. I mean, you're either moving in an upward spiral or you're going in a downward spiral. And commitment to personal growth sets your life on a path of constant positive direction. Before personal growth, my life was ordinary, standard, nonplus. But when personal development came into my life became dimensional, became rich with color, extraordinarily satisfying every single day. Relationships. What could be more important than the people you love and care about in your life? You know, my mother used to say, she'd say, Scotty, people say that money makes the world go round, but she said it's not true. She said, people make it happen. People make the world go round. A conversation with a good friend. A walk in the park with your true love. Meeting interesting new people that enrich your life. Passing on your wisdom, perhaps, to someone whose life direction might be changed forever. That, my friend, is the bigger, better life. 4 fundaments for a balanced and truly rich life. 4 pillars to uphold your dreams and aspirations. You've now come aboard. You might not have wanted one, but let me tell you, you have found yourself another family where you belong. You are now on the rocket ship of your life. Can you imagine what it would be like to start living your bigger, better life starting today? Experiencing optimal health, vitality, physical fitness, feeling the freedom and confidence of ever-increasing financial abundance. Waking up excited, curious about life, with eager expectation because you are on a path of personal growth and achievement. developing a passion and fascination for people, and enjoying rewarding relationships, great friends, and a harmonious family life, powerful connections, opening your heart to true intimacy and love. Let me tell you, if there was something that sparked inside of you today, got you excited, reignited your dreams, let me tell you, you're standing at the gateway of your bigger, better life. Walk through. We sincerely invite you to join our community of dedicated, like-minded people. A place where you will be recognized, uplifted, and encouraged. Belonging to a family in which your voice matters. And we're on this journey together with you. Go ahead, be good to yourself today. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Do yourself a favor. You'll be glad you did, and we'll welcome you with open arms. And of course, by hitting the notification bell, you will be updated and notified on all the life-changing content you're not going to want to miss. And if this message that we've put together for you, if it's resonated with you in any kind of positive way, would you be kind enough to just hit the like button? That would mean a lot to us. We're just getting started, and we're thrilled that you would choose to join us on this journey. And liking this video is just like giving us just doing a big high five over the internet. And because your voice, it matters, we really encourage you to contribute your thoughtful, positive contributions in the comments section below. We will personally read every single positive and legitimate comment. And most often, we will have the opportunity to respond. Your voice does matter. We're on this journey together with you. Thank you for your time, your feedback, but most of all, stepping up into your bigger, better life. This we know for sure. We know you can do this. We believe in you. And we are here to help you every step of the way. Hey, did you know there's only 4 ways to make money? I didn't until I read a really impactful book by the great author Robert Kiyosaki. It's called The Cash Flow Quadrant, and I'm going to walk you through it today. You're going to learn how to become financially masterful through this very, very simple diagram. Go ahead, grab a piece of paper, do it now, pause the video if you have to. I'm going to give you a simple diagram that you can write down very easily, and this is going to change your life. I'd like you to write on the piece of paper, just get a blank sheet of paper, a big circle, and put a cross through it. So you've got 4 equal quadrants, 4 pieces of a pie. And these are the 4 different ways to make money. And on the upper left-hand side of the quadrant, I'd like you to put the letter E. This is the way most people make their money. Can you guess what it stands for? Employee, right? This is what most people do. They go work for the man, they work for a company. They go to college, they spend lots of money, go into debt, and then they work for somebody else. The challenge, Kiyosaki says, is if you work as an employee, you'll never get ahead. You'll never become affluent. You'll never become rich because you're only making 50% money. This is that phenomenon of not having enough money at the end of the month, right? Too much month at the end of the money. You don't want to be there. You want to move from there. But the second way, it's located down in the lower left hand, left-hand part of the quadrant, and I'd like you to put a big S in that quadrant. That stands for self-employed. A lot of people have a dream to start their own business. A lot of people launch into that. Some people even go to school for it. The doctors, the lawyers, the accountants. They also go into debt, spend lots of money to get educated, but they're limited because they can only make money by what they do, because they're the expert. They're the solo, psycho individual who's doing all the work. I don't care if you're a doctor or a dentist, you got your hands in somebody's mouth, you're only making money when your hands are in their mouth. Unless you got what's in the upper right-hand side of the quadrant, and this is the smarter way to make money, moving from the left side to the right side. I'd like you to put the letter B. B is different than self-employed. B is a business. A business, according to Kiyosaki, is a system. It's not a person, it's a system. It's an A plus B plus C. You get D every time. And the definition Kiyosaki says of a good business is that you can walk away from the business for a period of time and come back to it, and it should be able to be even more profitable and make more money than it was when you first stepped away. This is a real business. I've entered into that kind of business, and I still make income from that business. It's amazing, and I'm not directly involved. That's a great and smart way to make money. And in the lower right-hand portion of the quadrant is really a neat way to make money, and it is represented by the letter I. And what do you think I stands for? If you chose investment, you're correct. And that is so cool because that's money making money. Isn't that smart, right? And so the extra money that you make from your business income, because the business is not all counting on you, you have extra, you have an abundance, and you structured it in a way that you're not making 50% money like an employee. You're able to take that money and put it into investment and have your money make you money. This is the smarter side of the quadrant, moving from the left-hand side to the right-hand side. So hopefully this has been enlightening to you, illuminating. It was an epiphany for me when I read the book. I highly recommend any of Kiyosaki's material. I've read all of his books. They were life-changing for me, but this I wanted to share particularly. So let me know, if you would, be kind enough to just put a comment down in the comment section. Let me know, what quadrant are you in right now, and where do you plan to move? Has this been helpful for you? What's your next step? Hey, I'm Scotty Hope from The Bigger, Better Life, and I just want to tell you, I believe in you. You can do this, and we are here together with you every step of the way. Have you ever wanted to start getting in shape? I mean, have you ever wanted to make that decision to say, I'm going to be fit, I'm going to get lean, I'm going to get cut up, right? Have you ever been in that place? I hope it wasn't so severe that it was one day you sat in the airplane seat and it just was a little bit too tight. Maybe those clothes didn't fit the way you wanted to, and you went out there and you overachieved, right? That's what everybody does, right? I've done it. You don't want to do that. I want to teach you the science of underachievement for success. It works like a miracle, and I'm going to teach you how to do it today. Hey, when you want to go out there and really, make something happen in your life, lose 30 pounds, get yourself down to, let's say if you're a man, maybe 10% body fat, maybe if you're a woman, maybe 18-20% body fat. You want that lean, mean, sexy look, right? You just want to make a difference in your life. You know what most people do is they go out there and they just kill it the first time out and the second time out, and then they drag themselves out of bed because they're so sore and they got so much lactic acid built up in their muscles that they can hardly move, and it's like agony. They go out there and they say, I'm going to run 5 miles. I'm gonna go push the weights. Like for me, when I go skiing, it happens every time almost. I overachieve. I go skiing for a weekend, and I go and I hit the black diamond, and I'm just the moguls, and I'm just... Next day I'm spaghetti. I blew myself up. It's not so smart. 95% of the people overachieve. I want to teach you the success of underachievement. It's for long-term, permanent success and achievement. So, you know what I'd like to do? Let's just take running as an example. Let's say you say, I want to start running. I want to start running and get into shape, right? Well, instead of going out there and killing 7 miles, first day, second day, third day, you can hardly get out of bed, blew yourself out, don't do it anymore. You know what I'd like to encourage you to do? Use this science. Just go down to the mailbox and back. Just jog. You might even walk down to the mailbox and back. That's day 1. That's a good job. You underachieved. You achieved, but we've got long-term success in mind, okay? So next day, I want you to jog down to the neighbor's mailbox and back. Are you feeling me? Are you getting this? You're not gonna get out of bed super sore. You're not gonna blow yourself up. But the third day, you're gonna jog down to the end of the block's mailbox, right? And then you're gonna come back, and every day through incremental, graduated growth and progress, you are gonna master this thing. Before you know it, you're going to be jogging 5 miles and be strong as an ox, lean and mean and a sexy machine, just like you wanted. And you're gonna have it long term. That's what I want for you. That's what I wanted to share with you. You know, Michael Jordan, one of the best basketball players in the world, right? Didn't make the cut for his high school team, by the way. But do you know that when he was at the peak of his career, what he kept coming back to was the basics? He would just, under high pressure, in championship games, he would just be like, dribble, dribble, shoot. Dribble, dribble, shoot. The basics, right? And that's what made him a an uber success. You know, Einstein talks about the miracle of compounding. I gotta read this here. He says, compound interest is the 8th wonder of the world. He said, he who understands it, or she who understands it, well, they earn it. But the person who doesn't understand it, they get crushed and they pay for it. Let that sink in. Overachievement, blow yourself up, or underachievement? So what is your goal? What have you overdone in your life and blew yourself up? You know, what is going to be your new underachievement? Leave it in the comments below. We'd love to hear it. We're going to read everyone. We appreciate you. You know, you can do this. We believe in you. And we are here to help you every step of the way. Have you ever been in a really dark place in your life? I mean, a place where, like for me, when I was there, filled with fear, anxiety, constant stress. I mean, really tough times. Like life sucked. You didn't know what you were gonna do. You felt totally stuck. How are you gonna get out of that? You don't know. It just seems to get worse and worse every single day. Well, I'll tell you the secret. The solution for that problem is one word. It is gratitude. Hey, there are 4 truths that I can share with you about gratitude, and don't underestimate these. Gratitude is awesome, and I'm going to share with you, I'm going to teach you today how to bring it into your life. First of all, you know, you get what you focus on. Where your focus goes, your energy flows, and that's how gratitude works, because gratitude recalibrates and shifts your mind on what's good about life. And you get what you focus on. That's number 1. Number 2, it reveals the gifts that are all around you. You know, when we're focused on the problem, it's all we can think about. and we get more of it, right? Gratitude reveals the gifts, the opportunities, the challenges that are really, they're wrapped up like gifts for you. But if you don't see those, you'll never have the opportunity to win in life. And so gratitude opens up a whole new vista for you. Number 3, gratitude, well, it just brings the solutions into your life. Because if you don't see the gift, how are you going to get the solution? And you just keep focusing on the problem. Again, this is simple but powerful. Lastly, number 4, in my experience, there is not a better way to start your day. It is said that the first hour of the day is the rudder of the day. It sets your course. I practice gratitude faithfully for 15 minutes every single morning. So, hey, if you're in that tough spot, I mean really bad spot, you need a big intervention, I'm going to challenge you to do the 20 for 30. And Scotty, what's the 20 for 30? The 20 for 30 is your bridge from this bad, dark place that you're at right now to the place that you want to be. It's your bridge to the promised land of what your life is called to be in all of its richness and goodness. I have a business partner in the Bigger, Better Life, and I'm going to share with you his story. He was at such a bad place in his life. He was so dark, so fearful, so anxiety and stress-ridden. He was paralyzed. He just couldn't do anything. His life came to a stop. He didn't know what to do. And he started to practice this gratitude, this 20 for 30 that I'm going to share with you. And his life became transformed. Now he's one of the most successful, respectable, fulfilled people that I know. Of course, living the bigger, better life along with me. So the 20 for 30, write down every morning 20 things that you're grateful for. Now, my partner Gary, he told me, man, when he first got started with this idea, he could hardly write down like 3 things. So he'd like to write down 1 thing. What kind of, I got a good night's sleep last night. I can be grateful for that. A small shift began to happen, right? And so then you start working to 3, to 5, to 10. At about 13, you might start to struggle, but there's something magical that happens when you discipline yourself every day to just go through this exercise. It's easy to do. It's easy not to do, but it's easy to do. So do it. Make the difference, and you'll see your life transform. You get past 13, 14, wow. This thing starts to explode and your life becomes full and rich, and you'll watch your circumstances, your opportunities, the gifts in your life, the people in your life, the money in your life, the personal growth in your life. You'll see it all start to transform. Hey, I just want to tell you that, hey, we believe in you. You can absolutely do this, and we're here with you together on this journey every step of the way. Leave a comment in the comment section. Let us know how you're using gratitude in your life. Let us know you're up for the challenge. Let us know you're committed to the 20 for 30, and we'll support you every step. Hey, this is Scotty Hope with The Bigger, Better Life, and I want to ask you a question in the area of personal growth and productivity. Have you ever had one of those days where you just put your head down, you're working real hard, you're putting out the fires, you think you're getting a lot of things done, and at the end of the day, you lift your head up and you're like, man, I'm so tired, man, I've been so busy, but what have I really accomplished? Have you ever had one of those days? Well, I know I have, and I know that I'm going to share with you today a secret, 100-year-old secret that still works like a charm today to bring your productivity up to the level of excellence. So every day you feel like you're accomplishing the most important things. And it's called the 6 list. It goes back to 1918, and a man by the name of Charles Schwab, who was at that time one of the richest men in the world, founder of Bethlehem Steel, now of course whose namesake is a part of the Charles Schwab Company, Charles Schwab Corporation, which I'm sure you've heard of. Well, Charlie Schwab wanted him and his team to be more productive, and so he called in a productivity expert by the name of Ivy Lee. And he said, Ivy, I want you to teach my team how to be more productive. I think we can do better. We can do more. We can have more. We can really enjoy more prosperity and more confidence that we're getting things done on purpose. And Ivy Lee said, I'm going to tell you a secret. He said, I'm not even going to charge you for it. You know what? I'm going to give you this secret. Just give me 15 minutes with each of your executives, and at the end of the month, if you've seen any difference, you can just write me a check for whatever you think it's worth. And he sat down with those executives, 15 minutes each, and he told them how to do the 6 list. This is what I'm going to teach you how to do today. The 6 list is really just sitting down at the end of your day. Some people like to do it first thing in the morning. It's recommended to do it the last thing before you go to bed at night, and think about your day and think about the 6 critical inch things that you need to get done to move your business, your life, your important things forward for you. And you write those down, 6 things, the critical priority things. And then you go ahead, once you got no more than 6, don't overwhelm yourself, no less. 6 is just enough. In fact, in many cases, it'll be a little bit too much, and you'll carry some of those things over to the next day. Don't feel bad about that. But at any rate, write those 6 things down. It doesn't take long to do. It's easy to do. It's also easy not to do, so be careful. Do it. Write those down and then put a number next to each one. It might not be in chronological order, so to speak. You might have number 1, your first thing, but number 2 might be your 6th thing. I don't know. You need to order those according to priority, right? And then once you've ordered those according to priority, the next day, go ahead, sleep on it. Let that percolate in your sleep, or first thing in the morning when you're sharp, you're on focus, you're on purpose. Go ahead and start your day by knocking out item number 1, right? You can even cover up the other items, right, with a piece of paper. So you just focus on item number 1. You do not go to item number 2 until item number 1 is complete. When item number 1 is complete, get that dopamine hit, check that baby off or cross her out, whatever works for you, and then go to item number 2. I can tell you, when you practice the 6 list, you will experience a quantum leap in life satisfaction, a quantum leap in productivity, a quantum leap in income production. In fact, Charles Schwab, after a month, after recognizing the productivity increase in his executive team and the overall advantage that it brought to his company, wrote Ivy Lee a check for $25,000. Now get this. That's equivalent in today's terms of a $400,000 check for one simple 15-minute concept. I challenge you to use the 6 list for 7 days this week. It's not going to be necessarily easy to do the 7 days, but if you commit to it, you will see that quantum leap, and you'll start to install a habit that'll make a difference for you. Hey, I'm Scotty Hope. I'm with the Bigger, Better Life. Hey, you can do this. We believe in you, and you know what? We're here to help you every step of the way. You don't want to end up like the sexiest, richest, most successful guy or girl in the graveyard, right? Know, and you're coming to know this too, that really the bigger, better life comes down to just a few simple things. It's about the quality of your relationships. It's about the money that you make. It's about your personal growth and achieving more, having more, doing more every day. But you know, the real foundation of the bigger, better life really is your health. Because how can you enjoy any of those things if you really don't have your health. You don't want to wind up as the richest, sexiest, Tony Robbins-like kind of guy, but end up in the graveyard, right? So I'm going to share with you today there's simply 4 things that you can do to live a happier, more robust, longer life. Number 1, you just got to get your Z's. I mean, don't listen to these people who say, well, I'll sleep when I'm dead. Don't cut the corner on sleep. Do you know that the European Heart Journal found that people who get less than 6 hours of sleep on a regular basis, they are double, did I say double? Double, that's 100% more. That's like twice as much more likely to die of a heart attack or a stroke. Don't be in that club. Further research has found that people who are generally sleep deprived are 12% more likely to die over a 25-year period. Sleep is important. And so here's a quick tip. Sleep like we used to back in the day. Just like 100 years ago, back in the day, thousands of years ago, tens of thousands of years ago. Sleep in the dark. Blacken out your room. Make sure there's no electric light. Turn off the cell phone. Sleep like you're supposed to sleep. Do you feel me? Number 2, I just want you to get out there and just give God a big old bear hug. And I don't know what that is for you. That's a big, big concept. I don't know what your faith base is, but hey, I want you to show up to the dance, because studies have found that the faith component to your life is one of the biggest, most crucial components for your longevity and your happiness. Okay? So really start figuring that out. If it's a missing piece in your life, I want you to show up to the dance and embrace that side of your life, because let's face it, there's 2 ways to live life. There's the bigger, better life, which it's a positive life. It's a progressive life. It's a proactive life. It's a faith-based life. It's a believer's life. And there's the other side of life, which so many people unfortunately live, and they live in fear every day. Are you going to live in faith, or are you going to live in fear? The choice is up to you. Either way, it's going to affect your happiness and your longevity. Oh, number 3! Have more sex. Give me the coochie coochie. Duke University tracked 252 people over 25 years and clearly observed that frequent sex contributes significantly to happiness and longevity. Go figure. Lastly, find a purpose in your life. I know this is big, but do you know that this is probably the only life, as far as we know, that you've got? So you might as well live it with meaning. Stop drifting, stop wandering around, stop wasting your life, wasting your time. Get on purpose. Get on your victorious path. But Scotty, how do I do that? Well, before I tell you, let me tell you that in 2014, researchers at The Lancet found that when they were following people over a course of 8.5 years, not an insignificant amount of time, those people who were with a life purpose and following it, they were 30% less likely to die. So this contributes significantly to your life happiness and your longevity. Hey, what is your life purpose, and how do you achieve that? We think it's the bigger, better life. It really comes down to 4 things. It's really your health, it's your finances, it's your personal growth, your achievements, and lastly, it's your relationships. If you will tune in to the bigger, better life, every week we're producing 2 pieces of content every week, delivering value to you, listening to your feedback, listening to your comments. if you'll plug in and you'll turn on, you will find your purpose here, practicing the 4 fundamentals of the bigger, better life. And not only will you live longer, not only will you be happier, but you'll be living your bigger, better life. I'm Scotty Hogue. I'm with the bigger, better life, and I know you can do this. I believe in you, and we are here to help you every step of the way. Give me the coochie coochie. I am here to share with you some things. I don't like it. Okay, let's start again. The richest, sexiest, Tony Robbins-like kind of guy, but I just give God just a really big hug. So you were so in love, and it was so great, it was so awesome, but your relationship, it's falling apart. You feel it slipping like sand between your fingers. What's going on? How can I solve this? I've got the answer. One word: respect. You might need to build this in from the beginning, but you can install it now. Respect for yourself, respect for the other person, and respect together in your life. Let's unpack this real quick, because this can change your relationship and love life forever. First of all, you've got to respect yourself. You've got to be respectable. You've got to be going someplace. I'm not talking about respect like you got to pay me respect. You got to treat me right. No, that's not what I'm talking about at all. I'm talking about being a person who is respectable because you're accomplishing things. You're achieving your goals. You're doing things that few people can accomplish. Somebody looks at you and they say, wow, I respect him. I respect her so much. But this starts with you. So you have to be on a life plan where you're making things happen. That means you respect who you are called to be. That's what the bigger, better life is all about, by the way. Number 2, you've got to respect the other, right? You have your goals. You're on your path, right? They're on their path too. And you've got to respect them. You've got to admire what they're doing. You've got to think that they are extraordinary. Like, how can they do that? How can they accomplish such great things? Respect them, support them, be there for them when they need you, because they're extraordinary. Build this into your relationship. You've got your individual goals, they've got their individual goals, and you support each other. But this is the secret sauce. It's the chewy center of respect, and that is having mutual goals together. Individual goals, you've got it, right? Respecting, supporting individual goals, yes. But you also want to have mutual goals. Maybe you're going to go on a vacation together. Where's that going to be? How's it going to happen? Maybe you're going to plan a family together. I don't know. Maybe that's a really big goal. Maybe you're going to start a business. That's another big goal. Maybe you're just going to, I don't know. Maybe you're just going to have a party. Maybe you're just going to paint the bedroom. Whatever that is, have mutual goals that you set together so that you're accomplishing and you're goal achieving together, arm in arm, hand in hand, with a mutual vision, enjoying that sunset together, right? So I just want to share with you that this is the secret. Really take this to heart. Start to install this. Maybe sit down and have a talk with your beloved and your special friend, your business partner, whomever, and start to install this structure of individual mutual respect. Start with yourself, and I'll tell you, respect through a vision-driven, goal-oriented life will cause you to come to a place where you will earn it. You will give it, and then you'll knuckle bump it together with your partner, your friend, your spouse, your wife, your husband, whatever the case may be. And this builds a solid love relationship for a lifetime, and you'll always be focusing on the best in yourself and the other and together. So I want to tell you, you can do this. You can live the bigger, better life. We are here to help you every step of the way, and absolutely, I'll tell you what, we believe in you. live rich, live big and better, my friend. I'm not talking about that wife beater, white tank top wearing man. Hey, well, baby, my woman needs to respect me. And they were so charming. Even the cute little way they'd wrinkle their nose, everything about them just made you all, that you gotta earn it. You gotta give it. You gotta knuckle bump it together, because it's a two-way street. It takes two to tango, right? Of course, it's a relationship. Welcome to the video. I'm glad you showed up. Hey, I want to ask you a question. Have you ever made like a poor financial decision? Have you ever messed up financially? Have you ever gotten yourself like upside down? Maybe you've had the good fortune making a good financial decision. Well, today I want to share with you 10 financial decisions that you can make now, that you'll make in your life, that you'll never ever regret. So let's go ahead. Let's get started. Financial decision number one is kind of built on a no-brainer. If you know anything about financial literacy, you know that you've got to have an emergency fund, because life happens, right? Shit happens, and you've got to be prepared. You got to have a safety net, but don't just tuck that away in just some random account. Let that money work for you. You want it available to you. It's your emergency fund. Common wisdom is 6 to 12 months of an emergency fund, just in case life happens, right? Gives you that peace of mind. But here's the financial decision that you can make today. Put it in a high yield savings account. You can make anywhere between 0.25% to 0.5% to maybe even 60%, depending on how long you want to keep it parked in there. But it's smart extra money. It's a financial decision you're not going to regret. The second financial decision that you're never going to regret is getting started early with your investments. It is so powerful. Albert Einstein said compounding was the 8th wonder of the world. And if you don't know about compounding, it has all to do with making money over time. So the earlier you get started, the better. Let's dig into this. So let's say you've decided to get started early. Let's say you're in your 20s, right? Let's say you're 25. Okay, well, let's say you've got $250 a month that you're willing to set aside and invest in whatever vehicle you want. But let's just call it the stock market. And the stock market has been typically known to produce 7 to 8% annual return. So let's just give you that 8%. Let's just do it for numbers' sake. Well, let's see what happens over the course of some time. So let's advance forward. You've stayed consistent, $250 a month. You got started at age 25. What is that up to by the time you're like 65 and you wanna, you wanna retire. You wanna, go sail the Caribbean. You wanna go fishing. You wanna, spend time traveling with your spouse. It adds up to $956,000 plus some change. Some big change, right? But check it out. What if you just decided to get started just 5 years earlier? Let's say you started at 20. I know somebody real close to, she's only 19 and she's making money and she's investing. She's starting so early. What's the difference? Well, person starting at 20, by the time they get to age 65, same investment, $250 a month, 8% return on average, annual return. Adds up to $1,426,000 and big change. It's a huge difference. 5 years makes an epic difference. When you look at it, it's almost $500,000 just because you got started early. This is a financial decision that you will never regret.
So time is your greatest advantage. And here's a quick reco. I mean, if you want to make it just simple, stupid, go get the app Acorns, attach it to your account, ratchet it up to whatever your number is, $100 a month, $200 a month, $250 a month. It'll even do the trajectory for you to age 65, whatever age you want it to mature to. Just install it. It takes the change that you don't, I'm not going to explain it. It's magical. It saves for you and invests for you automatically. The point is, get started now. Get started yesterday. Financial decision number 3. I like this one because every once in a while in life is just sweet. It's just good. It delivers to you an unexpected financial windfall. Maybe somebody gifts you some money. Maybe somebody owed you some money and they finally decide after years to pay you back and the money shows up, right? Maybe you inherit some money. Maybe you get a lottery win. I don't know what kind of things could happen to you, but it happens and it's good. But you know what most people do? They blow it. And that's a financial decision that you're going to regret. So rather take that money and add it like I was on this elliptical machine yesterday. I was getting the best workout and it said on there, do you want to add octane boosters? And I'm like, yeah, reminds me of investing. You want to add that octane booster when you get that extra money. Don't go on vacation. Don't blow it on clothes. Don't blow it on something dumb. Take that money, that extra unexpected money. You can use your other money to buy those things. Take that extra unexpected money and add it to your investments like a octane booster. It's like taking that miracle eighth wonder of the world that Einstein talks about, that compounding, and it's just like 10xing it. Just boom. If you do that throughout your life, it's a financial decision you will never regret. Financial decision number 4 is, it's a little bit tricky. I mean, it's a little bit trending, actually. It's a little bit maybe counterintuitive for some people, but here's the fact that a lot of people right now in this present changing time, they're not deciding to marry anymore. It used to be back in the day, right? Back in the day, people would go to school, they'd get a job, they'd marry, they'd make babies, and then they'd work until they retire, right? And they'd live probably in the same house that they bought when they first got started for the rest of their lives. It just doesn't work like that. Life is so much more dynamic, it's so much more exciting. The world has become so much larger for us. And people they're just deciding that maybe marriage is not a necessary thing. Maybe marriage is something, it's a big life decision that you want to make. And I endorse that. I think that's wonderful if that's what you want to do. But maybe you should think or rethink, if you want to make the big life decision, great. But do you want really the big ass wedding? If a big fancy ceremony isn't really all that important to you, you can get married for a lot less. I mean, do you really need the $12,000 bridal gown? Do you really need the $150 a head banquet dinner? Do you really need those $30 a person little trinket gift bags? Do you need all that? I mean, it's a huge expenditure and it's over. It's over in a day. If that's important to you, if that's how you want to spend your money, if you can afford it, more power to you. But this is a financial decision that you might want to rethink. Maybe instead, the two of you want to take that money, instead of dipping into your savings account or going into debt, maybe you want to take it and say, let's create a fund and let's invest in our future. Let's invest in experiences. Let's invest in making memories. Just think about it. Financial decision number 5 that you might not regret so much is really evaluating the cost of your living expenses. Now stick with me. This is a little bit counterintuitive. This might rattle your cage, might shake your world a little bit. I know a lot of people are into buying their home, buying their first home, but there's many financial experts out there. I can name one right now, Grant Cardone, who is a multi-billionaire in the world of real estate. He says buying a home and living it is probably one of the worst financial decisions you could ever make. So he suggests renting your home and investing in real estate that's going to make you money. A lot of people don't realize this. They think their house is an asset. It's not an asset. It's an asset to the bank. You know what Robert Kiyosaki says the definition of an asset is? And it's a good definition. An asset is something that makes you money, right? A liability is something that costs you money. What does a house cost you? It costs you a lot of money. And plus you pay interest, plus you pay maintenance. Plus, if something breaks and goes wrong, you've got to pay for it. It's a huge liability. And worse yet is that you have to step into what they call a mortgage, typically for 30 years. A mortgage. Do you know what the literal definition of the word mortgage is? It comes from the same word that they get the word mortuary from. It has to do with death. It means literally death pledge. You're signing up for a death pledge. You're going to pay for this thing until you die, and you're going to pay interest. You're going to pay it year after year, and then they amortize it. So you end up paying sometimes 3 times more for this piece of property than you paid when you signed the paper when you said, I want to buy it. Really rethink this. Besides, who wants to live in the same place for 30 years anyway? So you might want to rethink buying a house and living in it. It's not a smart financial decision, according to a lot of people. Rethink that, and it could be one of the best financial decisions you ever make. But before we go further, I just want to thank you for showing up, being a part of this channel. And of course, understandably, there's a lot of time, energy, and attention that goes into making these videos, and I'm making them for you. It's my sincere hope that as you show up again and again, as you become a part of this bigger, better life philosophy, that you are actually stepping into your greatness, stepping up into the 2.0 version of yourself. And if that is happening for you in even the smallest way, would you be kind enough to just show the channel a little free love and support? You know what to do. I mean, hit the subscribe button. Give us a like if you're feeling it with the video. Share the video. This is super good for the algorithm. We're just a little fledgling channel getting started, and your support is so meaningful to me. Thank you. And make sure you stick around for the bonus at the end of the video. You don't want to miss it, because I'm going to give you a bonus decision that you must make in your life to have a happy and successful financial life. Stick around all the way to the end, because you don't want to miss this. You want to install this decision in your life starting today. But let's talk about point number 6. It's a big financial decision. If you do own a home, I'm telling you, you might want to consider solar power. Tesla just came out with a new solar power package. They even give you a bigger discount if you buy one of their cars as well. But that solar power, it'll pay for itself in 10 years. In 10 years, you won't even have an electrical bill. It'll just be free. Isn't that amazing? But here, I'm a big proponent of the rent versus own concept, as you heard in point number 5. There's places now that you can go rent. They have solar power. My friend, she has a beautiful place, and her it's an apartment building. It's a gorgeous, high amenity, high luxury apartment building, but they got solar on the roof. Her utility bill is like $30 to $60 a month for it all. And I'm like amazed. Where I live, we don't have solar. I have an equally amenitied property, but I pay hundreds of dollars per month for my utilities. There's no solar compensation. There's no solar ancillary support. Solar is smart. Solar is so 2025, man. Hop on that, because that's a financial decision that you won't regret. Financial decision number 7. This might irritate some people, or might hit a little nerve, or rattle with their sense of tradition. But I'm here to tell you, you really need to rethink if you want to pay for a higher education. College is freaking expensive, and it's becoming more expensive all the time. I mean, it's a big dollar figure. Do you know, according to Forbes magazine, that there's over 1.6 trillion, with the T, trillion dollars worth of outstanding student loan debt in the US alone? Let's just run through the gamut so you understand what's going on here. Well, let's say you want to go to grad school. Let's say you want to get a master's, you want to get a PhD, you really want to advance yourself in academia and maybe put yourself in a better situation in the job market. Average student loan debt after commencement, $71,000. Hey, I'm just getting started. You want to be a lawyer? $145,000 in debt. You want to be a doctor? $200,000 in debt. You want to be a dentist? Almost $300,000 in debt after you get done with your degree. Can you really justify that? Even the pharmacist down at Target or Walgreens, they are coming out of school with $180K promissory note to pay off their student loan debt. Let's say you even want to be a veterinarian. We're talking about $170,000 just to go into that profession, and that's just the debt. Hold on. So here's the bottom line: the average student loan debt right now, if you make that decision to go and get your higher education, you're going to come out owing $40,000. Is that the way you want to get started in the adult world? Do you want to get started with that gorilla on your back? Do you want to get started not being free? Do you want to get started carrying such a huge load? Maybe to work a job that you even dislike, you might even hate? This is what I want to tell you. I'm an entrepreneur. I've never had a job in my life, and I did get a higher education, and I am thankful for it. But I'll tell you what, I still have student loan debt, and I don't like it. And it's a financial decision that I have to say I regret. You might make a financial decision to start your own business, to become an entrepreneur. The world is filled with so much opportunity. Some of the most financially successful people are dropouts. Bill Gates, Elon Musk, just to name a few. Just reconsider. Do you want to do the traditional thing that the man is wanting you to do and carry all that debt? Or do you want to start your own vision, your own company, your own contribution? Think about it. Financial decision number 8 that you're not going to regret is looking at different options for investment. And you don't have to venture very far. You don't have to get into things that are completely speculative. Most people are investing in the stock market, right? And they're usually doing that through their IRA or their Roth IRA or some kind of mutual fund or some kind of pre-built plan like that. Or maybe they're investing in the stock market individually. It's very, very common. Most people think that's kind of the only way to invest, but you might want to make a financial decision in your life to invest in real estate. Now, we touched upon this before, not the home you live in, but real estate that produces cash flow, real estate that we would call income property, real estate that brings you money month after month. And how much better could it be to have an income property where somebody else, by paying the rent, somebody else is paying your mortgage? Doesn't that sound sweet? Do that for 30 years and it's gravy, baby. You're sitting on a pure piece of property that's just all paid for. It's a financial decision that you will likely not regret. Decision number 9 financially that you are not going to regret is making the decision to live your life debt-free. Make a decision to get out of debt. Sage advice says, not a borrower, but a lender B. You don't want to be the borrower. You're going to pay extra money when you're the borrower. You're going to be under the control of the lender. Be the bank, be the lender, but don't choose to stay in debt. Choose to get out. Paying interest can be savage, and it can deeply eat into your wealth building plan. Becoming debt-free allows you to build and to build and to build and not take any steps back. Of course, I want to make the distinction between good debt and bad debt. Good debt is using OPM, other people's money, to take that money and invest in a business or in a sound investment like an income property, like we talked about in the previous point, acquiring some real estate, taking that money, other people's money, to make money. That's good debt. Bad debt is going and borrowing money. A lot of times it happens on a credit card, right? And you go out and you go out to fancy restaurants and you put it on your card. You go on vacation, you put it on your card. I don't know, you want to buy a new wardrobe, you put it on your card. This is bad debt. You're ending up paying extra money for things that you should be just paying straight out cash for. If you can't afford it, don't put it on a card. But if you can find other people's money to invest your money to make money, you really need to look at that closely. Just a couple of quick recos. If you want to get out of debt, you want to get a snowball effect on reducing your debt, there's a couple apps out there. There's one called Change Ed. This is specifically for eliminating student loan debt. It's very, very effective. And the other app is just called Debt Free, and it creates a debt reduction, debt eliminating plan for you on an app that you can follow every month until, boom, you're debt free. The 10th financial decision that I encourage you to make that it might not apply to you, and it might, and that's the use of credit cards. Some people just can't handle it. Some people are getting themselves into a very tempting situation when they get a $2,000, a $5,000, a $10,000 credit card, and it feels like free money. It's not. You're paying exorbitant interest. It's called usury. They're using you for your money. I got a credit card offer in the mail the other week. I couldn't believe it. I turned it over. I looked at the terms and conditions, and they want to charge me 36% interest. If you're struggling with that, if you're struggling with responsible use of credit cards, you may want to make a financial decision to just eliminate credit cards from your financial toolbox altogether, or strictly limit the use of credit cards. Now, credit cards can be good if you can use them responsibly, because you can build good credit worthiness that can get you into great opportunities for, like we talked about, investment opportunities, OPM, using other people's money, stepping into things that you could really, really enjoy financially. But be responsible. Here's a tip. If you're going to use a credit card, just pick one bill that you want to take care of every month. Let's say it's your grocery bill, or let's say it's your gas bill, or something like that you pay on the regular, right? And use your credit card and just pay it off every month. That would be a responsible use of the credit card. Don't go out to the store and buy your clothes. Don't go out to the restaurant and put it on. Unless you have the discipline to pay it off and the ability to pay it off every month, you could be getting yourself into an upside down situation. And I don't want that for you. I want you to live free. I want you to live responsibly. I want you to live a happy and successful financial life. Lastly, I want to say some people get into credit card trouble because they have an emergency. They lose their job, or something unexpected financially comes up in their life, and they just throw it on the credit card, and they thank God that a credit card's there. But I want you to consider there are other alternatives. Instead of using your credit card and paying 24% interest or 18% interest, getting yourself into a big backward hole, you might want to just go down to your credit union, get a small loan at a low interest rate, and go ahead and use that to cover your emergency. There's also a great company called Upstart. Look them up online. I'll put a link in the description alone. And they also do the same thing. Low interest, easy to obtain personal loans to cover emergency situations or to help you manage your existing debt. Bottom line, if you can't use credit cards responsibly, just cut them up, take them out of your toolbox. If you can, make sure that you pay them off every single month, and you'll build your credit and you'll be in good shape. Welcome to the bonus section. I love the bonus section because I can just free form with you. Hey, the Big Mac Daddy here, probably more important than any of the other financial decisions that you could potentially make in your life from this video, is I want you to consider spending your money on experiences rather than things. I mean, things end up owning us. And when you think about it, when you get the house, you get the car, you get the gizmo, the technology, the big screen TV, these things end up owning us. But do you want to have a lot of things just cluttering your home, cluttering your life? Or would you rather make memories? Would you rather clock experiences in your life? I would suggest to you to start an account just for experiences. Have an account for travel. Have an account so you can go enjoy concerts and music. Have an account where you can go on adventures and do things you've never done before. Maybe you've never zip-lined. Maybe you've never jumped out of a plane. Maybe you've never even been on a boat. Maybe you've never had a threesome. I really want to challenge you on this because many of us, as Tyler Durden said in Fight Club, so wisely, so insightfully, many of us were working jobs that we hate, to buy shit that we don't need, to impress people we don't even like. Experiences, not things. Think about it.